Welcome to the grand final of the National Water Polo League. It's the Fremantle Mariners taking on the Sydney University Lions. Hello, I'm Warren Boland. Welcome to the Sydney International Aquatic Centre. This is the 9th year of the National Water Polo League and it's Sydney University's first ever grand final. On the other hand, the Fremantle Mariners made the grand final last year but were beaten by Cronulla, so both teams have plenty to play for. Now, if we look at the semi-final results, we'll see how they got here. Fremantle beat Cronulla 11-9 and Sydney Uni beat Hawthorn Tigers 9-2. We then had the playoff for bronze. Cronulla were too good for Hawthorn. It leaves us with the big one. Chris Wybrow, former Australian captain, is with me. And Chris, how do you see the grand final going?
Well, it's going to be a close match. Daniel Marsden needs to play very well if Sydney Uni are to win. And they also need to contain Fremantle's counter-attack, which was very strong when they beat Cronulla. One of the highlights of the matches will be the two goalkeepers. They're both the current Australian goalkeepers, and they've been playing in great form.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. The starting 7 for Fremantle. A few internationals in this team. Thomas Lasic, the goalie, who has played for Yugoslavia and Slovenia. Then Timothy Neesham in good form. Christian Hode there as well. Peter Petrov from Bulgaria. Jean-Philippe Lalonde from Canada. Big Andrew Taylor in the starting 7 and Peter Tresize.
Lalonde has been one of the star players for Fremantle this season. He's a great centre forward, played a number of internationals for Canada, so watch for him today.
For Sydney University, some great Australian players here. Eddie Dennis, the goalkeeper, Daniel Marsden, young Trent Franklin, Nick Hume from Great Britain, Damien Fanning, who's also the coach, Damien Mostyn and Alistair Vish.
Well, Sydney Uni need a big game from this guy. Daniel Marsden is one of the star attackers in the world today, and he'll score goals from anywhere.
The referees are Martin Callaghan and Michael McNeil. Away we go in the grand final, and it's Christian Hode and Alistair Vish swimming up from the left. Vish in the blue cap for Sydney Uni, but Hode, the 17-year-old, wins the race and his first possession to Fremantle. Should be a very exciting contest, this grand final. Andrew Taylor, probably the biggest man in the pool, certainly in terms of weight. Neesham gets it into Tresize.
Changeover. Nick Hume forces the tries to take the ball underwater. Sydney Uni with a possession for the first time. There's Eddie Dennis on camera. Franklin swimming down the ball.
Action's been fast and furious early on. Now they settle it down for a moment. Damien Fanning. So they set up with Vish in a centre forward. Christian Hode on him. Franklin. Fanning has a shot.
Well saved by Lasic.
Got the hand out and slapped it down.
There's only a few seconds left on the 35. Fanning has a shot at goals, but well saved.
Lalonde at centre forward, but he goes right back to Taylor. Hode. Petrov.
So Lalonde, good defence by Fanning, but he's thrown out for 20 seconds. Another extra man for Fremantle. Well, Lalonde's proving a handful already. He's been in centre forward twice, been awarded 2 kickouts.
Taylor, Hode, Petrov. Goes for it, and he gets it. Straight over the head of Eddie Dennis. Dennis may have been expecting him to go to the side, but he went straight over the top of his scone. 1-0, Fremantle draw first blood.
A bit lazy in defence by Franklin. He should have gone out to Petrov. Petrov just come into about 3 metres and pinged it straight over Eddie Dennis's head. As we can see here, quick shot over his head. Vish back to Fanning. Trying to break up the zone of the Fremantle.
Hume at centre forward.
Franklin. Nothing much happening now. They've got a chance to get it centre forward. Here's Hume with the ball. Fouled heavily by Petrov. Out to Marsden, has a shot that just bounces, really takes off the water then.
And Mostyn complaining to the referees about something. He has to turn and swim to the other end. There's Hume. So Fremantle go on the attack. Trying to get it in towards Petrov.
Another ejection. 20 seconds in the sin bin.
Third time they've had a man kicked out in the first 5 minutes. Taylor. Hode comes in closer, winding up. Petrov goes for it, he's got it again. 2 in a row for Peter Petrov, and he lets the crowd know about it. Great work by the 26-year-old Bulgarian.
You can see the ball being passed around the periphery by Fremantle. Christian Hode, balking, pops it over to Petrov, and once more he scores from the same position. See here, just balks once and throws it right across the body into the top corner.
18 seconds left on the shot clock.
Another chance for Marsden, gets inside, but the shot was rushed.
And Neesham was in his road and all around him. So they go on the counter-attack, and racing down the side is Brett Oliver for Fremantle. Kasani, Georgi Kasani.
Well, Lalonde's back in centre forward. He's very dangerous here, as we've seen earlier today.
Vish at centre back.
Sitting a long way out, though. He's sitting on about 5 metres. He needs to get a bit closer to goals. Lalonde once more. Backhand,
and
scores!
Eddie Dennis rolls his eyes to the roof of the pool arena. 3-0.
Lalonde's a very powerful player. See him in centre forward there, frustrating defender, throwing a beautiful backhand around him. As the ball comes into Lalonde. Very strong, good backhand.
Now Petrov gets his hand on the ball. Oliver.
Into Dressage, but well intercepted by Sydney Uni.
And trying to get down the other end is Marsden. Petrov going with him. Land Lalonde. The Mostyn puts it out in front of them. The time's up. Mostyn turns around. Didn't realise that time was going quite that quickly. 3-0 at the end of the first quarter in the grand final. It's Fremantle leading Sydney University. The two 17-year-olds sprint up. Christian Hode from this end for Fremantle. And doing it well from the other end was Thomas Whalen. Winning possession for Sydney Uni Lions. That's Damien Fanning. Sydney Uni down 3-0. They wouldn't want to lose this second quarter, if you like. They need to go with Fremantle from here.
Damien Fanning, coach of the team, looking for an opening, trying to get the ball into the centre forward. Daniel Marsden trying to break in. Gets inside water. His teammates can't get the ball to him. He's got a chance now. Here he is free.
Petrov
There's
on him.
a kick out.
Peter Petrov is out.
Good play by Marsden.
In the first quarter with Sydney Uni, you had players kicked out more often. Ryan Moore's in the pool for Sydney Uni. Chance.
Oh, swamped.
And Whalen.
Corner throw.
Whalen was trying to get his hands to the ball.
Corner throw for Sydney Uni, taken by Daniel Marsden.
Vish. Moore, Ryan Moore, over his head, couldn't hold on to it.
Fanning.
Fanning pushes it away.
Fouled.
Neesham there with him. Dressage has got it for Fremantle. So for all that movement from Sydney Uni, nothing comes of it, not even a shot.
Sini for Fremantle, passes with big break at the other end for Fremantle.
Neesham.
Looking for Petrov, he gets the ball, and well defended.
Well, Eddie Dennis gets one back that time.
Oh, well defended by Moore, just slapping Petrov's arm as he's about to shoot. It's a goal-saving tackle. Fanning passing the ball to Moore.
Whalen. Marsden back to Whalen. Trying this quick passing now. Shot, it's a goal! Out of nowhere, Thomas Whalen. He's been thrown in to the pool in this second quarter off the bench. And the 17-year-old represented New South Wales under 20s.
Well, I don't think Lasic expected a shot here. Very slow to react. Good play by Whalen. Oh, you can see there the view of the goalkeeper is probably obstructed by his defenders and just throws it in the net. Good play by Sydney Uni.
An important goal for Sydney Uni. They're first. They're down 1-3.
Dressage with the ball for Fremantle to Christian Hode. Sydney Uni electing to play a pressing front game now. And Marsden steals the ball. And here's a big break for Sydney Uni.
Whalen brings it down. Vish trying to get to the goal first.
Oh, Whalen's in a good spot. He won't have the shot soon. Sits up. Passes to his teammate.
Oh,
Bounce
off
shot
the
by
post.
Moore.
And a race to get possession.
Christian Hode wins.
That was a close thing for Thomas Lusic. Ryan Moore coming off the post. 3-1 to Fremantle, who get the chance to add the next goal.
Kasani with the ball for Fremantle. Trying to get the ball to Lalonde, centre forward. Succeeds. Lalonde's fouled.
Tresize going closer. Now it's Lalonde on the backhand again. Oh, they're hot. Lalonde. And from a similar position earlier, Peter Petrov, those two on fire, and Eddie Dennis can't stop them. 4-1.
Lalonde's had a great series, and he's starting off the grand final in great form as well. He's had 2 kickouts, and this is his second goal. Second backhand as well. Great goal by Lalonde.
Great work so far by Fremantle. Alistair Vish tries to do something about it. Marsden. Vish.
Into Ritchie. Ritchie's working hard. Fouled. Takes a free throw on 2 metres. They'll be looking to find Marsden. It's Vish.
Philip Ritchie still in there at centre forward.
Marsden will have a drive now. Goes into centre forward. Hume sits up into Marsden.
Trying to get the fingertips to it on the backhand.
And a good defence by Kasani. Ball passed over. Change of possession.
What was intended there by Marsden?
Ritchie was had inside water, but unfortunately was underwater. And he saw him there, but flicked the ball. But Ritchie had to pull around his player, and in doing so caused an offensive foul. Oh, good
Now an
defence.
intercept goes Sydney Uni's way.
Now here's another chance for Sydney Uni. They've got a big counter-attack break.
Fanning on the fly.
Still a chance of Fanning.
And Nick Hume swimming hard to centre forward. He's got it. Oh,
Oh,
great
great
save,
save.
Thomas Lusic. Well, that had...
And here's a chance at the other end. Here's Christian Hode. By himself, just a goalie to beat.
By a body
Powering in
length.
towards goals.
Eddie Dennis sweating, pops it over his head, and it's another one to Fremantle on the counter-attack. 5-1 to Fremantle. A big break over Sydney Uni in this grand final. Guess not much Eddie Dennis could do.
No, it's a big 1-on-none by Fremantle. Christian Hode, and good skills, just popping it over Eddie Dennis's head. Just beating his fingertips and plopping into the back of the goals.
Christian Hode has a rest after that sprint.
Daniel Marsden needs to get free and have a few shots at goals.
Robert Boston in the pool now for Fremantle. Ryan Moore has it for Sydney Uni. A lot of whistle blowing going, and
Taylor's been ejected for 20 seconds. Extra man chance for Sydney Uni. Daniel Marsden. Henderson passing to Ritchie. Just trying to work the goalie, getting out of position.
Ryan Moore. Ritchie.
Here's a chance now for Henderson. Great
Good shot. Well, Scott Henderson brings a change of luck to Sydney Uni. Hasn't been in the pool long, and finally they get one past the immovable Lusic. 5-2 the score.
You can see here, working the ball around, Ritchie trying to get the defender to commit to him so he can pass to Henderson. Henderson sitting by himself, balks once and throws a very accurate shot. See as the ball comes over to Henderson, balks once, throws a nice shot.
Last 30 seconds of the second quarter. A better quarter for Sydney Uni. Was 3-0 after the first 7 minutes. It's now 5-2.
Well, Lalonde sitting on about 6 metres. Fremantle happy just to play out. And about halfway, all the players. They're just going to try and feed the ball to Lalonde.
14 seconds left. Taylor just dumps it away with just a few seconds left.
Only 5 seconds left in the quarter. Quick shot.
Oh, great
Lobbed over the
save
top.
by Lusic. Got a fingertip up to it. It's a corner.
It's a rush shot. There's only 3 seconds left in the quarter, but Lusic has to get his fingertips to it to make sure it goes over the top.
So the corner, last couple of seconds. Taylor's got it for Fremantle. And that is the end of the second quarter. Sydney University clawing their way back into it, but still trailing by 3 goals. So it was 2 goals apiece in the second quarter. Now it's 5-2 to the Fremantle Mariners. Play swinging from one end of the pool to the other quickly at the start of the third quarter. An important quarter if Sydney Uni are going to get back into it. That early break made by Fremantle.
Henderson with the ball on the wing, looking for his teammates, seeing if anyone's free. Nothing's happening. Passes to Franklin, to Hume.
Quickly on Vish. Now Ritchie moving it around. Can they find a hole? Henderson.
They have to try and get the ball to Marsden. They do so now. He's fouled heavily and there's been a kick out. Crowd's happy about that. Marsden's been working very hard.
Well, they hadn't been able to find any hole in the defence up until that moment. Finally the kick out. Now Henderson.
I won't be surprised at all if Marsden has this shot. No,
there it is. Nick Hume thumps it in. So Sydney Uni get one valuable goal back and the crowd are starting to rise. Thomas Lusic is not a happy man.
See the ball passing around here. The defender knows how dangerous Marsden is. That leaves Hume by himself on 2 metres and he'd bounce it under Lusic's arm.
And what is Lusic saying to his team there?
I don't think he's very happy.
Kassanyi has it for Fremantle. Fremantle ahead by 2. Neesham, Timothy Neesham. Mostyn on him. Quickly on from Hode. Petrov. Tresize at centre forward.
Fanning thrown out for 20 seconds. Petrov with a chance now. Defenders slow to move.
And that was the man kicked out going past Petrov. Fanning.
Almost a professional foul. Could have been a 4 metre if he'd touched
Kassanyi, Petrov. Kassanyi again with the extra man.
Kassanyi.
Shot. It's
Great
good.
shot.
Georgi Kassanyi, the Hungarian junior representative, gets it past Eddie Dennis. 6-3 to Fremantle.
The Hungarians are quite renowned for their great shooting skills, and you can see the accuracy of this shot, bouncing off the side wood. Balls is passed around extra man. Kassanyi with the ball, gets it back again from Neesham, and lets it go in the top corner.
Fremantle back out to a 3-goal lead. You can feel fairly comfortable there. Alistair Vish. Marsden back to Vish. They're working between the two of them.
Marsden
closer.
Gets in front, working very hard.
On the defence, closes in on him, but they get the foul. Free throw will be taken. Vish. Franklin. Another free.
12 seconds left on the shot clock. They want to try and get the ball to Marsden. Every time he gets the ball, there seems to be something happening.
It's a kick out. It's a kick out against Christian Hode out of the pool. So Sydney Uni with the extra man. And plenty of time. Shot.
And here's a chance for Marsden. Scores.
Well, it was deflected away by the block of Fremantle. Not much that they could really do to stop that when it just splashed down in front of Marsden.
Oh, a bit of luck for Sydney Uni. The ball deflects from Fanning's shot straight to Marsden's hand. He just picks it up and lets it go. No one there to save it. See the ball bounces back straight into Marsden's arms and he throws it in the goals.
Lalonde in at centre forward, guarded by Mostyn. Here it is for Lalonde now. Can't get the shot in yet.
Good
Can
pass.
he? Misses.
Oh, just hits the top wood. The very frustrated Mostyn pushes off of Lalonde.
20 seconds left in the quarter. Franklin. Hume. Mostyn. Marsden at centre forward. And Mostyn might take it himself, and it's a good stop by Lusic. He saves it. Popped it up in the air, and Thomas Lusic. Great work. And that is the end of the quarter. A shot is too late.
See the shot then by Mostyn. Tries to throw it over Lasic's head. Recovers the ball well.
6 goals to 4 in favour of Fremantle over Sydney Uni at the end of the third quarter. Seven minutes to go in the grand final. Peter Tresize jumps out of the blocks for Fremantle. And Thomas Whalen for Sydney Uni. It's close, and Whalen knocks it away and then knocks it back. Sydney Uni have it. They're down by 2 goals. Quite an experienced outfit. Plenty of Australian representatives in their lineup. And on the other hand, Fremantle, a mix of international experience and Australian youth. Who's going to hold their nerve down the stretch here? 7 minutes to go. This last quarter of the grand final. Franklin to Marsden.
Kick out. Well, he's been very consistent with his kick outs, McNeil. Any centre back that grabs the centre forward has been thrown out. And we see another extra man now for Sydney Uni.
Christian Hode's been out a couple of times at least.
One more time, he's out for the match.
Now Whalen.
Here's a chance.
Good goal. It's underneath. Lasic. It is
Great
a goal
for Sydney Uni.
6-5 to Fremantle. So all of a sudden, just 1 goal in it, and the tension starts to mount.
See the ball getting passed around here. Ali Vish on the 2 metres by himself. Grabs the ball and throws it under the goalie's arm. Goalie doesn't believe it is a goal, but it was bounced straight back to a Sydney Uni player. So he could have easily thrown it in, but it has been called a goal.
Tom Hode is prowling. Making a few changes. So could be very exciting here soon should Sydney Uni get the next goal. Meanwhile, Fremantle have a chance to extend the lead once more. They need to play with confidence and control. Petrov, Neesham, gets it into Lalonde. His danger. Has he got it? He has. Pops it over the top of Eddie Dennis. Gets another goal and it's 7-5. Fremantle back to a more comfortable buffer.
Sydney Uni very upset with his defender there. You have to front and press. Lalonde's very strong when he's in front. You can see him here with 2 defenders on his back, just throwing the ball over the goalie's head. Ball shouldn't have been able to come into Lalonde. They're playing press in front. Lalonde manages to get the ball and throws a delicate shot over Eddie Dennis's head.
Sydney Uni have to get the next one.
Ali Vish, the ball for Sydney Uni. To his coach,
Taken
has a quick
off
shot.
The crossbar. Fanning had a shot at it. Tried to catch them by surprise. Will he have another go?
Vish.
Fanning does have another go, but Lasic is awake and nods at him as if to say, well, you might have got away with it once, but not twice.
Let's see Fanning here has another shot, but easily saved by Lasic. He was waiting for that one.
3.5 minutes left to go in this match.
Sanyi on the side.
Hode. Free throw goes Fremantle's way. Taylor.
Halfway through this last quarter.
Taylor tried to get it to Lalonde a little, hopefully.
Eddie Dennis passes the ball down to his coach. And Fanning.
Once again, it's Sydney Uni who really need to get the next goal.
Marsden,
and they've got it.
Goal.
Marsden gets them within 1. It's 7-6 to Fremantle. Daniel Marsden, he took it quickly.
That was a great shot by Marsden. You can see in the replay, he has a big push-off off of the Bulgarian international, Petrov. Ball comes into Marsden. You can see his arm pushing off Petrov and throwing a beautiful backhand in the far corner. So the ball comes in, he gets that metre free as a little push-off and throws a great backhand.
Just under 2 minutes left. The grand final ticking away from Sydney Uni, but they only need one goal by Marsden.
Good still by Marsden. Let's see. Can he go on with it? He has got a counter-attack. It's up to Ali Vish to keep that counter-attack. So he has to work hard.
Tempo of the game picks up, as you said, very quickly.
Oh, there's Marsden.
Petrov comes at him.
Here's a chance for Mostyn. Balks once, twice, comes in close, lob, just hits the post.
Still a chance? No. So close. Mostyn just a little too cute going for the corner.
See Mostyn here balking away, trying to get the goalkeeper out of position. Lob. Fortunately, the post just in the way.
Now Sydney Uni need a goal to get a draw here, and it's close, and a great save by Thomas Lusage. There's 45 seconds left. Fremantle can hold it for 35 if they like. Taylor looking around at his coach. He better watch out for Alistair Vish in front of him instead. And the foul goes Fremantle's way.
Well, Fremantle should try and hold possession for the entire 35. That would give Sydney Uni only 14 seconds of attack.
Neesham throws it past his man and sets sail. Much to the frustration of Brian Moore. Neesham is taking his time. There's 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Still going is Neesham.
He'll just play it out. 3 seconds left in the 35.
So Sydney Uni can get a draw to take it to extra time.
Only 1 second left. Kasani throws it in the dead ball area, wasting time. Sydney Uni goalkeeper has to come out and take the free.
All or nothing for Sydney Uni. The clock ticking down. 10 seconds.
Here's Marsden.
Fanning gets it to Marsden. Could be last chance.
Heavily.
But it's not a kick out. Still alive there. Vish. Marsden saved by Lusage again. 4 seconds to go. Fremantle have got the ball. Fremantle can play our time now.
That's the end of the game.
2 seconds, 1 second. It's all over. The Fremantle Mariners win the grand final. 7 goals to 6 over Sydney Uni. And the celebrations begin in a big way in the pool. Peter Tressai is elated, wraps arms around his captain, Andrew Taylor, who's thanking someone up above. Tom Hode with a smile of satisfaction. What a great win to Fremantle. Beaten in last year's grand final by Cronulla, that bounced back this year. They did it without Andrei Kovalenko from the Ukraine. So let's go down to the pool side, and in a moment Andrew Taylor's going to join Chris Wybrow.
Well, congratulations, Andy. It's a great win. It seems like you're starting off very strongly, forcing the opponents to come back and play catch-up polo.
Yeah, we had a plan together and we put it together to nullify their best players. Of course, Danny's one of those, and we took him out of the game, and there are other players, and it come up trumps for us.
Now, what's your plans for tonight?
Probably drink copious amounts of alcohol, Chris. With a win like that, our club had a plan together years back to bring up our juniors, and as you can see, it's paid off.
There's no way that Coach Tom Hode's going to be thrown in by the Fremantle boys, but Fremantle are going to celebrate one way or the other. You can bet on that. Their first ever championship win, and didn't they do it in style over a valiant Sydney University. Now, the National Water Polo League has made a number of awards for the whole competition. Let's take a look at them. The player of the series was Mark Oberman from Cronulla, the leading goal scorer Daniel Marsden from Sydney Uni, and the most outstanding goalkeeper over the series, Eddie Dennis from Sydney University. They say you have to lose a grand final to win a grand final. That's what Fremantle have done, doing it just tremendously here to culminate a great National Water Polo League season. Hope you enjoyed it. On behalf of Chris Wybrow, this is Warren Boland for ABC Sport. See you soon.